Well, hello. Oops. Oh boy. So, first off, I want to say I'm driving again. I have to go back out to that company and make another drop off. And it's a rainy day, so if you hear any noises, it's just A, rain probably hitting my windshield, and B, you hear my wipers. And that's also why the beginning said, oh boy, because I was sitting at a stop sign and there was a dump truck coming, and I'm like, I can tell it was a dump truck, I thought it was a trailer. And I don't like being behind trailers. I've had some bad experiences with it. So I was like, I gotta race this guy and get in front of him. Anyways, on to what this is. So this is basically more or less the part 2 to the first video I did. It's very delayed. It was supposed to be a week later, and I'm like 2.5 months later now. But about college. So just a little recap. The first video I did, I talked about, my college background, what I majored in, why I chose those, and all that. So this one, I'm going to talk more about aftermath of being a college graduate. So for the very, very, very starters, I would say this: do not go to college. Okay? Everything that you ever hear in high school from your parents, well, from high school at least, is propaganda. College is a business. All they're looking for is customers so they can keep making money. So then they, not work with schools, but, it just becomes like some weird sentiment. Like colleges start pushing it because maybe they get something out of it if they can. Not colleges, high schools start pushing it because maybe they get some kind of kickback if a lot of students go to X school, or I don't know. But all I know is that's all you hear. Oh, go to college, go to college, go to college. Oh, you're doing good in school, you're smart, go to college, go to college, go to college. You gotta go to college, go to college, go to college. No, don't. If there's one thing in life that I regret the most, the only thing I can think of is that I went to college, okay? Yes, does it feel cool, sort of, to say I have 3 college degrees? Sure. Was it cool that by age 22 I had 2 degrees? Yeah, because it was like, geez, how many people have 1 at this age and I have 2? Like, it felt like an achievement. But the lasting, like I call it, aftermath, is not worth it. For starters, when I was in college, my very first college, going for my engineering degree, they had this poster, not really a poster, it was on an easel that they had like in the main hall, the main foyer, how do you say that word? Foyer? The main foyer. And on it says, people with an associate's degree make $1 million in their lifetime more than somebody with just a high school diploma, and somebody with a bachelor's makes $2 million more in their lifetime versus someone with just a high school diploma. And what it comes down to is, where are you even getting those numbers from? That must have been some kind of crap from people that are I don't know, some kind of high-end exec or something with a fairly big company and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's not a real stat. It's more just that tactics to blind you, and you think, ooh, really? No, not really. Jeez, I've been in engineering for 9 years now. July made 9 years. Okay? Now, most people, when you hear engineering, they think that there's a fair amount of money associated with it. Yeah, not rich, you're not pulling in $200,000 a year, but an okay amount. You're doing all right, you're living. Yeah, no, that's not the case at all. I have 9 years under my belt with 3 different companies, just building up my skills over all these years, and I'm not, it's not like I make nothing, but it is not whatever you have in mind right now that you think I'd probably be making, I'm sure you're $20,000 off, okay? Like, I went to college for that. Basically, the amount of money I make, I know a couple people that have no college education at all, and they make the same as me, or very close. Maybe I make like $1 more an hour than them. But it's like, really? I went to college for $1 more an hour than you? Oh, good choice on my part. And then there's the student loan debt, which that's just forever, practically. I don't know how to explain my loans. My loans are kind of weird because I have a couple of them, but that's just how. I have one loan, but it was split up into 4, I think, or 2. I don't really understand. It's just how it was. That's how I got the loan. I never did anything like refinanced or whatever. That's just how I got it. So Two of those loans were $15,000. Well, one of them, my mom ended up actually taking for me, which a lot of parents probably pay for their their children's student loans, but my family's not really like that. It's weird because we're kind of close, but at the same time, it's like you're on your own when it comes to real life situations. If my car dies, my mom's got 2 cars. Technically, yeah, 2 cars. At one point, they had 3, but forbid if I use one of them, I would have to figure it out on my own, or, like this. The student loans is my debt. But, so, just considering that she took one is kind of weird, but I think it's only because she's the co-signer and she just doesn't want it affecting her credit and all this, so she sees it as whatever. I'll take one, you just handle the other one then. Then that's kind of the sentiment. Fine, I'll take one, you handle the other one. Ugh. But anyhow, from my understanding anyways, she tries to say I still have that loan, but I'm pretty sure she paid it off like nobody's business anyways. $15,000, boom, bam, done. I don't have money like that. I can't just $15,000, boom, bam, done. I wish I could, but I don't have money like that. I have nothing. I'm dead broke. There's people that talk about living paycheck to paycheck, and I live 2 paychecks to 2 paychecks every week, and I'm still viciously struggling. That actually brings up another point right there too, but I'm kind of jumping ahead. Stick with where I'm at now. So, anyhow, what was I saying? Oh yeah, it's $15,000. Okay, so this is a loan from 9 years ago. You know what it's down to now? $12,000. It's taken 9 years to pay off $3,000. At this rate, it's like basically never going to get paid off, and it's only $15,000. The only way I'm going to pay this off is if I somehow come into money. Like I finally get a job that pays me, what you'd expect I'd be making or something. I don't gamble, so I can't really say if I win the lottery or something. But otherwise, that's never going to get paid off. $15,000 is taking this long. And I think I made a video about it on TikTok too, and somebody responded and gave like a dick comment like, you just need to come up with a game plan. Kind of like bragging how they did. I paid my... Yeah, well, F you. Maybe your life's a little bit different. Maybe you had parents that helped you, or maybe you don't have a kid, or maybe, a million things different for you. I can't make a game plan to pay more because my money is maxed as it is. I don't have enough money. That's the other situation too. Maybe you make double what I make. Yeah, my life would be much easier if I was making double what I make too. Anyhow, so where was I going with this? God damn, these stupid tangents, and then I forget what I was focused on. I was talking about, so the $15,000. Yeah, and I'm not the only one either. I saw a TikTok of some woman who, I think she said she had $100,000 in debt. She's been paying for 10 years, and her debt is still at $96,000. And it was like, obviously she was just making a TikTok because she's upset. Like, how is this right? And like, it was almost like, as she started to think about it, she was having like a mental breakdown, like, just panic attack. And it's understandable because it's insane. You pay on something for 10 years and all you end up scraping off is $4,000. That's ridiculous. Just like me, $3,000 after 9 years. Her and I are basically on par with each other. Only difference is I don't think in a year I'll be putting $1,000 down. So she's a little more advanced than me. But that's probably because her debt is much more, so maybe her monthly payments are much higher. And then speaking of monthly payments as well, that's something that I think needs to happen. Like Bernie, when he was campaigning, had some weird plan to get rid of student loan debt. I think that's dumb. I mean, yeah, it would greatly benefit me, which would be cool. But at the end of the day, let's be real. Like, everybody that went to college chose to go to college. Nobody told you had to go. Yeah, it was forced in your face, jammed down your throat, and you felt like it was the right thing to do. But you still made the choice. You could have given the middle finger to everybody and been like, shut up. I got my own game plan for my life. So anyways, we shouldn't have our student loans forgiven. We chose to take them out. We chose to go to college. Granted, yes, it's because we thought it would make our lives better. Did it work? No, but anyways, but what I do think should happen is I think there should be no interest on student loans. That's kind of disgusting of the banks that they do that. And they charge an insane amount of interest. I think my student loans, for every like $100 that I pay, only 12 of it goes to my primary, my word, I just had the word and now I forgot. I don't know, is it primary? Principal. There it is. Jeez, what the heck? So anyways, for every 100 that I pay, $12 goes to my principal. The rest is interest. So that means $88 in interest. That's why I've only paid $3,000 so far after 9 years. It's insane. So that's just wrong to me. Like, when you sign up for college, most people are straight out of high school, 18 years old. You know, their life hasn't even started yet. Yeah, you could say it's starting now because you're 18, you're an adult. But it's not really starting. You're going to college. You're just continuing what you've been doing all along. All along, you've been going to school, and now you're still going to school. Only difference is instead of hopping on a bus, you're taking yourself via, your car. But yeah, there should not be interest on that. That's pretty gross when you really stop and think about it. Like, you're a kid, and like this is one big thing that you're choosing to do for your life, and you're trying to do it to better your life as well. And the banks are like, cha-ching. It's ridiculous. And then in addition to this, also, I've seen a documentary on airline pilots who apparently pilots make nothing. Everyone's got this idea about it that pilots are making a lot of money, and you'd think they would because they kind of have a high-risk job, relatively speaking. They're not only are they responsible for a lot of people, but you're way up in the sky. So if something bad happens, like, you really want your pilot to know what he's doing to potentially, figure out a way to land that plane without crashing, kind of like Sully did in the Hudson. But, yeah. So, anyways, apparently they actually make dick for money. They pull in only like $29,000 a year, and apparently a lot of them are on food stamps, and they're just violently struggling even more than me. Now, at the same time, obviously they have to go through some training and stuff, and it costs money. And I saw one of the people said, with her salary, it's borderline impossible for her to pay this off, and she's doing her best that she can. But at this point, what did she say? She took out, I don't remember the amount that she had in debt, but she says by the time she ever pays it off, if she's even able to pay it off, the amount of money she'll have paid will be like $500,000. I don't remember what her loan started at, so I can't really say that for comparison, but still, that's what she says. It'll basically have ballooned up to $500,000, if not more, just because the interest rates are so stupid. And like, that just doesn't seem right. There should be, you borrow $40,000 for education, then it's $40,000 flat, and all you gotta do is pay back that $40,000. There shouldn't be interest on that. That's wrong. But that's another thing that's a killer. And see, for me, when I went to college, nobody tells you about that side of things. No, they just want to throw it in your face. Ooh, go to college. Yeah, you're smart, go to college. Yeah. But they never tell you about, oh, well, actually, going to college is a major financial burden. And currently, you just graduated high school. You have no money, so you're starting off on the wrong foot. This will be a major struggle for you. Once you get a job, basically, you can expect that entire pay to be gone to student loans. You'll be struggling for the rest of your entire life, even though we're going to lie to you and tell you you're going to have a great life. No one tells you that. And so my perception was, I was a little nervous about it when I went to take out the loan. I was like, oh, geez, I don't know. I don't want to get myself into major debt like this. But then I thought, no, it should be okay. A lot of people do this. A lot of people have gone to college. College isn't like a new experimental thing we're trying out. It's been around. People do this. So I was like, it'll be fine. Everyone else pays their loans off, so I can be part of that as well. This won't be difficult. And I also thought, what else was I thinking? Oh yeah, I was thinking how they tell you make so much money. So I thought, yeah, I never thought I'd be like a millionaire, but I thought, yeah, okay, this seems scary what I'm making now. Because during those days, I was just working as a manager at McDonald's, so I was making like $10 an hour. My take-home pay was like $310. So yeah, taking out $40,000 when you're making $310 a week is like, but then I was thinking, oh yeah, well, when I go to college, after I graduate, I'll get a real job. They'll pay me better than just $10 an hour. So yeah, this will be easier to manage. Yeah, no, that's never happened yet. Yeah, I mean, I'm making more than $10 an hour, but I'm not really at that level of, easy life like I was expecting or told I would have, lied to that I would have. And then, like, I don't know. What was the part that I started to bring up before? And then I said I got to get to that later, because now would be a time for that, and now I'm forgetting it. I don't know. I did think of something else, though. So that's the other thing, too. Like, I think about everybody who hasn't gone to college, and I think how their lives are actually so much better than me. Like, they have houses, they have multiple cars, they have no debt. I'm like, what did I go to college for? I live in this trash apartment in a horrible neighborhood. It wasn't super bad. Like, it looked suspicious, but it wasn't too bad. The people around were okay. Now, for some reason, there's an influx of just scumbags. All you hear all the time is fighting. Literally fighting, not just verbal, but like physical as well. Sometimes you hear noises that I swear are gunshots. Maybe they're not, but I'm pretty sure it is. You know, there's these stupid new retards that live next door that have to blow off stupid fireworks every single night since March, which are just getting annoying. And like, I want to go out there and just, you know, lay them right out. But somehow, half the neighborhood has become part of their team. So I'm like, great, if I go and lay them out, now I'm going to have the whole neighborhood against me. Like, I don't need that kind of weird conflict. Someone called the cops on them once too, which was cool, but of course that didn't matter. As soon as the cops left, you could hear them all talking crap, and like, of course, as soon as the cops left, they went and shut off more. And it was like, you guys are dicks. You got the cops called on you for a reason, because you're annoying and stupid. But yeah, like, I don't want to live, and like, it's just funny too. Not funny, it's just ironic, because like, my position now, I guess you could say I'm the chief engineer of a plastics company. I say I guess because technically, yeah, that is my title. But I feel weird saying it because I'm still learning. Like, I just started in December. There's a lot for me to learn. There's tons of tribal knowledge that I'm trying to pick up and stuff. And so I don't really feel comfortable saying I'm the chief guy. Maybe in a few years when I'm, you know, more accustomed, then I'll take it, because then I'll be like, yeah, I'm a go-to. But for now, I'm like, I'm kind of a go-to, but it's kind of like there's something I got to do now on the computer that I have no idea how to do it, so I'm gonna have to get somebody to come help me. So that's why I don't really have the confidence to call myself the chief. I just say I'm in engineering there. But regardless, if you do take my title for what it is, technically chief engineer, like, somebody with the title of chief engineer should not be living in a crap neighborhood like that. You know, and on top of that, my apartment's kind of crappy too. It's tiny. I mean, my whole entire apartment literally is like the same size as some people's kitchens. And it's a big kitchen, but, you know, well, let's say kitchen dining room. There you go. That makes it a little bit bigger. Like, I have a tiny, worthless apartment in a terrible crap neighborhood. My apartment's gross as well, not because I'm dirty. I do my best to keep it as clean and tidy and neat as I can, but it's just gross, like the house itself. The landlord doesn't really put effort in, so like the ceiling's all peeling and gross, and you know, the walls are not so gross per se, but you know, they're very dated. It's got like a very like early 70s vibe going on, and I don't know. I mean, if you check out my TikTok, then you'd see my backgrounds. You know, you see the background of my apartment, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like, the ceiling is just disgusting. It's peeling. It's got, like, water stain marks, like, yellow on the roof. And then there's something up with the air. I don't know what this is either, but everything white that I have ends up turning yellow over time. And I'm like, that's gross. And what's that doing to my lungs? Like, I have these nunchucks that I bought from Chinatown in New York. They were white, and I took super good care of them because I thought they were cool. Yeah, they're yellow now. They look like I'm a raging chain smoker, and I smoke around my nunchucks all the time. Same as books. If I have books, I have to put them in a shelf. Not in a shelf, in a drawer somewhere. Because if I don't, the pages all turn yellow. I have one book that I have on a shelf that's out in the open, and it's all yellow now. And I don't know why. It's gross, though. It's nothing I did. But anyways, the point is I hate that. Like, I don't want to live in that environment, but I'm stuck there. I literally have nowhere else to go. I don't have money to get anything else. That apartment is relatively cheap, at least. It's kind of expensive when you really stop and think about it. But compared to a majority of apartments, I'm not going to find anything cheaper than that. The only thing cheaper is if somebody was, like, renting out their closet, and then I have no space at all. So, more or less, I'm stuck there, and it's just frustrating. Like, I don't want to have to live like that. And that's what going to college did. If I didn't go to college, I'd probably be able to have a house, just like everyone else I know that didn't go to college, but yet has a house. I mean, I know one guy who has a house, 4 kids, and pays for 2 vehicles. He didn't go to college, and he can afford all that. I went to college with these 3 stupid degrees, and there's no way I could afford any of that. I afford 1 car and a crappy apartment. I can't afford a house. I can't afford 4 kids. Jeez. Half the time it's a struggle with just my daughter. Now, yeah, child support is is insane and ridiculous, and I made a cast about that 1 or 2 episodes, maybe 3 episodes before this one. But still, for the most part, I'm like, geez, imagine 3 more? Oh my, there's no way. All I know is college was a major mistake. If I could go back and do it again, I would not. If people told me the reality of this like it is, instead of all the lies you hear, I wouldn't have gone. And that's the other thing too. Like I was mentioning earlier, and I didn't really get into it. I said, your parents, and then I was like, well, maybe not to the parents. So the thing with parents, though, is they're not really giving you propaganda for the schools. Like, the schools just want you as a customer, so to speak, so they can make money. But your parents, they just think, oh, you're smart, you should go to college and do something with that. Yeah, you're people like you are made for college, to go to school, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, they're uninformed as well. So you listen to them, and you're like, okay, I'll go to college. And then it's like, oh, great. Good thing I did that. Good thing I blindly listened to you. Good thing I blindly listened to my school. Good thing I blindly listened to the colleges I applied to. I don't know. It's really not all it's cracked up to be. At least not right now. If they make some changes, like I said, maybe drop the interest off of student loans and stuff, then it could get a little better. But for now, your life is just going to suck if you go to college. No money. You're going to have a low quality of life. Oh, that's what I was going to say, too. The jobs. That's what it was. Yeah, so that's the situation, too. I work multiple jobs. My entire adult life, I've worked 2 jobs. Right now, I still do work 2 jobs. I'm in the process of potentially getting a 3rd one. And then from there, I got to figure out that I had a potential opportunity for a 4th one, but when COVID hit, it kind of screwed everything up for me. So I don't know if that's even still on the table. It was on the table. So I just got to recall the place and see if it's still an opportunity, and if so, when do they think I could start. But regardless, the 3 jobs at least that I'm going to work, those aren't for extra money. Those are just to get by. Literally. I need to work 3 jobs just to get by, just to pay all my bills and everything. And I ain't living a lavish life. Like I said, I have one stupid car, Nissan Altima. Oh, wow, that's such a sexy car. And I live in a crap apartment, and, I ain't doing anything extravagant. It's not like I'm broke because I'm driving a brand new, what's the super expensive, a Porsche. And it's not like I'm driving a brand new Porsche 911 or something. It's not like I'm driving it's not like I live in a nice house that's in a very secluded, wooded area, and that's why I'm broke, because I'm dropping $3,000 a month between my house and car. No, I'm broke because I make dick for money. So anyways, like I was saying, the 3 jobs, because I have 2 jobs now and I'm violently struggling. That's why I need to get a 3rd one, so then I can have that little bit extra. I'd make about $100 a week at the 3rd one, and that would help. That's $400 a month. That's almost my rent right there. So that's a boost. And then if I did get the 4th job, that might actually be extra. So I gotta work 4 jobs just to make a little extra. But my point is what did I go to college for? I seriously went to college so I have to work 3 jobs? I thought college was supposed to make a better life. I could have not went to college and still been working 3 jobs. What difference does this make? Nothing. The only difference now is I look like an idiot because I went to college and I worked 3 jobs. And it's what did you do wrong? Nothing. College just lies to you. That's what I did wrong. I listened to the stupid propaganda. I thought my life would be better going this route. I guess this is about it. I feel like this is a little bit short. I thought I had much more to say, but I don't think I do. The only thing I can say, yet again, is do not go to college. Or if you do, at least have a game plan in mind. Have a game plan, a solid game plan, really thought out. Take a year off from school, from graduating high school before you go to college, just so you can really think about it. Because I didn't do that. I just went. I thought, okay, yep, I'm just going to go to college. So I went to the community college, and I went to the engineering school. And at least take some time off then so you can think and really know, okay, this is my game plan. I'm going to do this. I'm going to get an internship at this place. I didn't get internships. Maybe I should have. That probably would have helped, because then I'd have something under my belt. Then maybe I could have started off making more money. I would have had more skills, yada, yada, yada. So really have a game plan if you're going to go. But otherwise, just don't go. It's most likely not going to be worth it. It all sounds cool, but in practicality, it's not. My life sucks, financially speaking at least. I can't do anything. I don't take vacations from work. Why? And not because I want to work all the time, but because what's the point? I don't have money to do anything. That vacation pay I'm going to need for all my bills like normal anyway, so I might as well just go to work instead of sit at home doing absolutely nothing. It's just, it's not worth it. Do not fall into the propaganda. Or I guess that's the other thing you could try to apply for tons of scholarships. I didn't do that either, just because scholarships take a lot of work, and at that time I had a lot of work as I was with school. I used to have homework that lasted me until 9 at night. I'd get off the bus and I'd be doing homework until 9 at night. I'm like, I don't have time to be writing up papers now for stupid scholarships after I spent my whole entire afternoon, evening, night doing homework. But I mean, hey, it is free money, and if there's a lot of people like me that don't bother to go after it, just increases your chance. So I don't know. Overall though, I'd just say, nah, don't go to college. Seriously, you'll probably live a much better life. Like, I hate that I can regret that my life sucks and I did go to college. I feel like I would rather have my life suck and regret and think, I wonder what my life would be like if I went to college. Because since I did go to college and it's as terrible as it is, it makes me feel like, man, this sucks. Like, I don't have anything to think what if. You know what I mean? What am I gonna what if? There's nothing that I can what if. I did what I thought was the right thing. At least if I didn't go to college, then there would at least be that what if. Well, what if I did go to college? You know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know. Just don't go to college. That's all. I'm back at my job now. So thanks for listening. And I said see ya.